Good morning, everyone. As you guys are joining us, feel free to write where you're at in the chat. We're so happy to have you guys here with us this morning. I'm Jamie Cass. I oversee the community forum as well as lots of other special projects, real estate, real experts being one of them. And I have Tanya Tilton here with me today. She is one of our amazing lead instructors from Georgia. And we're going to go ahead and get started here in a minute. But if you wouldn't mind just saying where you're at in the chat, just so we can have an idea of who's here joining us today and where you're from, that would be wonderful. Looks like we're getting everyone in the door.
Right.
I was going to share a little wake up video with you guys here this morning. See if I can get this to work. All right. Let's see.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Say good morning, everyone. What up, party people? Oh, good morning, everybody. Say good morning, everyone. What up, party people?
So that was just a little fun. Good morning, everyone. If you're a Bluey fan, hopefully you know who that was and what that was all about. If not, you probably just don't have a toddler at home like I do. So when you need a break from real estate, you can always check out Bluey. It's a good laugh. But again, good morning. I'm Jamie Cass. I am with Kaplan, and Tanya Tilton is here as well. She is our expert this morning for our real experts. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit about Tanya, just so you guys have some background knowledge of her experience and know that why we chose her as today's expert. So Tanya is a seasoned realtor slash broker, instructor, and business coach with over 23 years of experience. She specializes in real estate pre-licensing, new agent coaching, and buyer-seller consulting. She has a robust background in real estate sales, property management, and legal compliance. She transitioned from a senior portfolio manager for the Atlanta Housing Authority to managing broker for a top firm. Tanya has dedicated to empowering students, raising industry standards, and maintaining a positive teaching approach. She is an amazing instructor. She holds a BA in English Spanish from the University of Alabama, along with several certifications, including the REO Default Certified Professional, a certified distressed property expert, and a certified broker price opinion resource, as well as a realtor. So if you don't know what that alphabet soup is at the end of her name, they're mostly designations that you can get through NAR. So Tanya, thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to have you and your knowledge today. Again, welcome everyone. Everyone's coming in from all over the country, so we're super glad that you're all here. Pennsylvania, Arizona, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia. This is great. Hopefully some of you have had Tanya as your instructor in Georgia. She is a fantastic instructor and is always out to help a student. If you can see the slide that I'm sharing, it actually has Tanya's email. So if you have specific questions for Tanya, you can reach her there. Or you can always go out to the real estate community and ask some questions in the community forum as well. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Tanya, thank you so much for your time today. We really do appreciate it. Since it is back to school
Yes.
this season, we wanted to bring Tanya on so that our students could get a better understanding of how to best engage in their programs that they purchase with Kaplan. I'm just going to bring up a quick poll, and I wanted to see just exactly who is in our audience today. Let me see if I can find the poll. Where did it go? Give me 1 second.
Thank you, Jamie, for that warm and complimentary welcome and introduction. That was so kind.
Of course. Thank you for being here. We're so happy to have you in our presence. You're usually so busy. So I'm glad that you're able to join
Yeah.
us today. Okay, I'm going to launch this poll as to who is in our audience today. So if you'll answer in the poll, not in the chat, but in the poll, it should be up on your screen, or you may have to swipe if you're on a mobile device. But how many of you are taking classes right now at Kaplan who have been in industry for less than 3 years, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10, 10 plus years, or you're just starting to look into where you want to get your license? So those are your options. Go ahead and answer those, and we'll have a better understanding of who is in our audience today. Lots of answers coming in. It looks like 80% right now is our students taking classes, which is kind of what we expected, hence the title, but this is great. I'll give you guys a few more seconds to answer the poll, and then we'll go ahead and close it. All right. And I'll end the poll now. So it looks like we have about 79% of our attendees that are current Kaplan students. So welcome to all of our students. Thanks for joining us. We're super glad you're here. You're going to walk away with mind-blowing information. We have a few that were less than 3 to 5, and then about 16% that are looking to get their license. So welcome. We're super glad that all of you have joined us and have taken the time out of your day to not only be with us, but also to educate yourself. So the more that you can know about your program, the better you're going to do in it. So with that, Tanya, my first question for you is, how do I manage my time as a student? What are some effective strategies I can use for studying, basically?
Sure, Jamie. The number one study tip that I like to give as far as a strategy is to develop a study plan and time block for those very specific hours that you plan on studying. And also, first and foremost, you do need to figure out what is my time investment? How much time do I have per week, per day? What am I willing to invest into this goal? And so, coming up with a study plan after you've answered those questions for yourself is really important. Being organized, knowing the type of learner you are, so you'll know what type of activities are going to be most effective for you to, comprehend and retain that information. So, like, time blocking is key. And for me, it's time blocking on my Google Calendar and inviting family members, not so they can study with me or attend with me, but so that they can be aware that that is my sacred study time. That is my devoted, designated time. I'm committed to it. That's on my schedule. It's a part of my life. It's not going to change. And you want to get the family members and partners in on that, excuse me, so that they can support you.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge, because a lot of times, if you don't take that sacred time, that time gets interrupted and it gets filled in with other things that we can all find a million other things to do besides study. So I love that you're dedicating that time. And then I like the idea too of letting your family members know, like, I'm busy. This is my me time that I need to do to study so that I can pass and make my dreams come true. So I like that a lot.
Absolutely.
And then based from there, can you share any tips for students that want to, for them to stay motivated, and then making sure that they're staying focused during like a challenging period? So maybe it's just a topic that they're struggling with. What are some tips that you have for them when it's a hard topic and staying motivated?
Well, first and foremost, stick to the plan and don't procrastinate. Don't put it off, because if you put it off, you will likely not get back to it. Also, it can be unsettling to go off of your schedule. I know it is for me, and so you want to stay focused and and stay, mentally prepared. Um, Focus on the goal. Keep your eyes on the prize. Okay. Remember why you're doing this. Remember your purpose. Remember your ultimate goal of becoming an agent or broker, and really stay committed and focused to that. So you're going to do an immersive learning approach, uh, and basically that's just surrounding yourself with all things real estate. Participating and engaging is really, really, really critical. So you've got your calendar, you've got your study plan, and you've got your personal commitment to yourself to engage, invest your time, and use all of the wonderful capital resources that we have here.
Great. And then what about reinforcing some of the concepts? What do you recommend students do maybe outside of the classroom, to kind of help reinforce what they're learning inside the classroom?
Yeah. So that's what I call the buy-in for the tie-in, where you're adding activities outside of the classroom that are going to help to reinforce that learning and to deepen your understanding. And so I always advise my students to attend open houses, have real estate conversations with practitioners, other students, uh, potential clients, just having those conversations and surrounding yourself in real estate environments. Just always being in a real estate environment, always thinking about, how can this correlate to my real life? How will I apply this? What will that application uh, look like? And that's going to help you to build your skill level, your confidence, your comfortability with this topic, with these different topics, because we all know that this is a huge amount of information, to digest. And to do that, you've got to hit it from several different aspects. I also tell students another fun activity besides, open houses on the weekend, which by the way is a lot of fun. And when you're there, you can, challenge yourself to pick out the different types of fixtures and upgrades and amenities and be able to name those. What kind of structure is the home? What style is the building? Those types of things. And so you want to definitely make sure that you're doing that. And I also challenge students, pull out that old closing package. If you're a homeowner, pull out that old closing package, dust it off, take a look at your deed, take a look at your settlement statement, even taking a look at your taxes, right? Because we have to learn tax prorations. So
Right.
you want to find ways to connect your real life with the theory and concepts that we're learning in class.
Yeah. And finding open houses, you can go online, you can look at, your local MLS, you can look, you can even just Google search open houses near me and things will pop up. So that would be one way. You can also go to new home builds, and like you had mentioned earlier when we talked, and find like a plat map, and that way you can kind of look and see what that looks like in real tangible purposes versus just hearing about it in class. So I love that. That's great.
Yes. And walk it out, Jamie. If you are at a new construction site where they still have vacant lots, empty lots, walk it out. Convert your steps from yards into a mile, and do those conversions. Work on your conversions. Pretend that you are the one that has to measure the lot. What does that look like? And but yeah, you've got to make this fun. You've got to make it interesting for yourself. You have to engage. You absolutely must engage and bring it home, like literally bring it home and apply it.
Yes. Someone asked, I'm watching a lot of House Hunter episodes. Is that helpful?
Well, I love it. I love it. Those reality shows, they're very entertaining. And at the same time, there's some great information. That is a great way to learn different styles of homes all across the country, what's trending, right? Because this is all relevant to our practice.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so absolutely. And you're getting a little bit of the real estate language there, a little bit, you know, a few acronyms, language processes. So yes, absolutely. That's one that I engage in myself. They can be addictive, but again, keep it in perspective and keep it in perspective
Time
and
block
just
it.
time block it. Yeah, you know, and just know that sometimes those that is television, and so there is an entertainment aspect, and not everyone who is participating is a licensee. So just keep that in mind, and but have fun. Absolutely enjoy your reality shows
Yeah.
on real estate.
And take it with a grain of salt because it's not
Uh,
quite that easy when you get out.
that's right. That's right.
um, what are some resources that you recommend that students use that Kaplan has given them for additional support with some of these more challenging topics?
Well, first, let me say, you know, that we have the best resources, bar none, world class. You know, we're so innovative. Yes, this is a brag, and because we are, you know, I have.
Why would you
For,
work here otherwise, right?
why would I
You'd
be
be
here
somewhere else.
otherwise? Yes,
Yeah.
yes, for sure. You know, think about it. We have not only do we have self-paced courses, we also have live classes on all of the national topics that everyone will see across the nation on their licensing exams. And these are licensed instructors, experts. Um, I'm proud to be on that team. And, you know, we have a very, very unique opportunity to present information to you, to have that interaction, that one-on-one with you. And this reinforces, supplements, and boosts, you know, what you're already getting in your self-paced course for your state, you know, your state specific material as well. And so you've got that combination. We have our question banks that you can drill on. We have videos. Uh, some instructors offer one-on-one opportunities. Some states have study groups that meet. For example, in my state in Georgia, we meet twice a week, our study group. I even have, you know, students who are so engaged that they meet on their own. They meet live and in person on their own, to, you know, as an extension of the study group that we have, you know, weekly, bi-weekly scheduled, right? And then of course you have the community forum. So you're never alone. You're always able to reach out and touch someone, another student that's maybe going through what you're going through, or getting your questions answered. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Did I say videos? Did I say we have flashcards? We have it all. We have it all.
Someone had asked about practice tests before they take their exam, and that's one of the tools that we do offer is what we call the Q bank, which is a bunch of practice tests. Will you elaborate a little bit on that, Tanya?
Sure. The Q banks, I love them. They are fantastic. And another great way to stay immersed in the material, because the beauty of the Q bank is that you can decide how many questions you want to test on, what topics you want to test on. So you can really customize it in such a way that it's very helpful for you as an individual and your individual needs as a student. And I love the fact that if you have, for example, if you work during the day or you have other obligations, you can literally cram or work on those practice questions for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's a coffee break, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know, or your lunch break, or before you go to bed, or while you're on the treadmill. So
Right.
I love the fact that the Q bank gives you an incredible amount of versatility, and you can take it anywhere with you and always have questions. Always quiz yourself. Always give yourself a pop quiz, you know, and learn this material. The repetition is key. The drilling is key.
Yeah.
It's an incredible resource. You have to take advantage of it.
And I will say, just speaking from personal experience, when I went through the real estate course, I was nervous because I was like in charge of the real estate school at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I fail this, like, what am I going to do? Everyone's going to think I'm like the worst manager of the school. So it was nerve wracking. But the Q Bank to me was so helpful because there were even questions that were so similarly worded that when I saw it on the actual state exam, I was like, oh yeah, I remember I did that question like multiple times in the Q Bank. And we're
Yeah.
getting a lot of questions right now of like, where is the Q Bank? So
Okay.
let me answer that really quickly. So if you go to your dashboard, so
Mhm.
where all your courses are listed in your LMS, your learning management system, it will be listed there as the national Q Bank, or there could be a state Q Bank. Some states have specific state Q Banks, some don't yet. We're working to get them all to have one, but they all will have a national one. So if you go into your LMS, go to your dashboard where all your courses are listed, it's it's listed there as one of your courses, and you can go and use that resource for yourself. I also put a QBank video link in the chat. So if you guys want to go play that, that kind of walks you through a how
Nice.
to, and that will explain how to use that QBank video as well.
Mhm.
Something Tanya hasn't mentioned yet, but I know she's going to get to too, is your course syllabus. And that is a
Mhm.
great resource for you guys to use. I'm going to put in the chat a welcome video that you should have all received when you got your initial emails from Kaplan, but I know they kind of get lost in the shuffle. So go ahead and bookmark that video. That's a great video for you guys to watch. It does explain everything we're talking about here today, all the different tools you have. But Tanya, if you want to go ahead and explain a little bit more about the syllabus, that will help too.
Sure. So, you obviously you want to become very familiar with your Kaplan learning management system, your dashboard, and because that's where you have access to all of the resources. That's how you tap into those resources by logging into your LMS, your Kaplan dashboard, and you'll see your syllabus, you'll see access to your Q banks, of course, your course, your pre-licensing course as well, your syllabus information on your instructor from that state, information on taking your final exam as well as your licensing exam, just a plethora of critical information. So you must read that syllabus. You must go through it and familiarize yourself with all of the tools and resources that you have. If you've purchased one of the one of the packages from us, if you've added some additional tools and resources, yours may look a little bit different. Everyone's uh, dashboard is going to look a little bit different, but in the drop down menu, once you're logged into your dashboard, you'll be able to access all of those tools, including your community forum and your live learn classes as well. But you'll get some great information about your course and your instructor, and you'll just be, fully connected. And it's key that you're fully connected, right? Because that's going to help you with becoming uh, the most successful version of yourself as a student here with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the course syllabus should be the first thing that's listed in your dashboard. So
Mhm.
that's how you'll get to it. It's a website. You can bookmark that website and go reference it as you need. It has calendars in there for all the different learn sessions. So I know Tanya had mentioned that a little bit, and we'll elaborate on that. The learn sessions are supplemental to your actual course. So you're going to take your online course. So that was the one that either has text or videos or both. And that goes through all the different questions and gets you through the content. But then you actually have learn sessions, and the learn sessions meet during the day, in the evenings. They're kind of sporadic throughout the week, but there's a calendar in your course syllabus. There's also one in your learning management system, and you can go there and see what is available to you. And then once you're in your your live online learning hub is how you will then access those learn sessions. And one pro tip I need to mention, because this comes up a lot, is I can't get to my learn session. I go in there and I click join and it just says waiting for the host. Well, the one tip I'm going to give you, and write this down, is on the left-hand side is a menu. And that menu allows you to select between which live online course you're going to attend. So do you want to go into your national learn? Do you want to go into your state learn? Do you want to go into your learn math class? Do you want to go into your learn Spanish option? Whichever one you want to go into, make sure you select that on the left. Go into the middle of your page and confirm that that's the course, and then click join. That will get you into the right course. If you're sitting there and it's the right time, it's the right day, and no one's showing up, most likely you're just waiting for a course to start that isn't that day. So just make sure you're in the right course. So that will kind of help people. And I actually, let me pull that up really quick and I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. 1 second. My screen here. So your live online learning hub, again, everyone's dashboard is going to look a little different. I have a lot of enrollments, so ignore mine. It's probably not going to look like yours, but it says your live online learning hub, access your live online classes here. You're going to go to launch. Once you're in launch, on the left-hand side, all of these are your options for, your different live online classes. So this is how you'll access the classes. This is how you access the calendar. Here's some additional resources here. So I want to go into my live online class. I'm going to click on your live online learning hub. And this is the menu I was talking about on the left-hand side, is your learn national laws, learn math, exam prep, career mentor connect. Sometimes there's a learn state if you have a state. So this is defaulting to math. So if I want to go to math, I'm going to click join. But if I don't want math, I'm going to click on learn national laws, confirm that it's learn national laws here, and then click join. So that's how I'm going to get into those classes. So if you guys have questions on that, I know that one comes up a lot, but I just wanted to bring that up so that you guys were aware of kind of how a little quick how-to on that one. But then another question I had for you, Tanya, was then, so students are going through their courses and they're ready to take their exam. What is the best way for them to prepare for that exam? So they've finished their coursework, they've taken the tests that they needed to for the courses that are in their package, but now they're ready to prep for that state exam. And the state exam providers are typically PSI or
Pearson VUE.
Pearson VUE, thank you. I was like, what's the other one? Just escaping me.
Yeah.
So they'll go to those facilities to take that state exam. What are some good preparation techniques for them? And to reduce anxiety, because we all get test anxiety, right?
We do. We all get anxiety, and like I said before, I think a little bit of anxiety is normal, to be expected, right? Some of it is just nervous energy because you're excited because of what's going to come next after you pass your exam. And so in preparation for your licensing exam for your state, I always recommend that the students review the Q banks. The beauty of, and that's the question banks, just drilling on that, repetitive questions, just firing those questions up, on a regular basis, consistently, for whatever time you've designated on that study plan, right? And so as you're doing that, what I love is the feature that allows you to see your score. You can see your score in the Q bank. You can also cover material that you have not recovered, so you can see which topics and which questions you performed well on, which you need to work on. So you've got a little diagnostic feature just built right in that's going to help you to get prepared, helping you identify areas that maybe you're a little bit weaker on or that you need to strengthen. And so I highly recommend you use that tool. If you have the in your state, if you have study groups and one-on-ones with instructors, this is a great time to utilize those opportunities as well. And then finally, whether you're working with your Pearson VUE or PSI, either one, whichever is your test administrator for your state, you may also want to go directly to their website for some practice questions. And those are going to be, of course, those are going to mirror what you'll see on your state exam, your licensing exam, I should say. And so that's important. Again, going back to using those resources first and foremost, starting with Kaplan, and then maybe ending it off with some practice questions from your test administrator.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And would you recommend going into the live learn sessions or going back to your coursework study?
So I honestly feel that once you've completed that course and those built-in quizzes that are there and the exercises that are there, I feel like you're definitely ready to move forward with Kaplan exam practice and even the math. So I generally will recommend to my students who are preparing for their licensing exam, be sure to attend both, right? So take a weekend. These are offered every other week, right? On our calendar. And so take that weekend, the weekend prior to taking your exam. It's I like to call it our cram course. The exam practice, I like to call it a cram course because you've got 4 hours of intensive focus on all of the major topics. And then also you can round it out with math, which is on Friday. Saturday is the exam practice. And so I highly recommend you couple those and take both of those the week before your exam. And, hopefully you feel strong at that point, you feel competent, you feel comfortable. And then if so, and you're scoring well, 80% or above on your Q banks, then, you should feel confident enough to move forward with scheduling your exam. If you still feel that you need more practice, then the other resource, again, is with the test administrators, purchasing some of their practice exams. But always go with what you already have first, exhausting all of those resources before you move on to a paid, situation or a paid service.
Yeah, I would agree. And I can't stress our exam prep enough. Like, not only should you take the online course, but you should definitely, like Tanya was saying, attend that math course on Friday. It's going to help you brush up on your math skills that you're going to be tested on. We all love math, so make sure that you're going in there and brushing up your math skills. And then Saturday, Sunday are those exam prep courses that will really help you hone in on what you need to know for those exams. You're going to take a pre-test to see where you're at before you start the course. You're going to go through your coursework. You're going to go to this live online session. You're going to then take a post-test, and then you're going to see how well you did from when you thought you were ready to once you took the course and you really are ready. And there's usually a huge difference, and you can track that with your performance tracker that's also in your LMS in the exam prep portion. So make sure that you're definitely utilizing that. I cannot stress that enough. It's not mandatory, but it's definitely highly recommended. A question here I have is from one of the students is, since real estate's an ever-changing industry, are they always getting the latest course materials, and how frequently is our material being updated?
Well, that's a great question. And of course, we stay up to date with the most current and relevant information. And, our coursework reflects what's being tested on the licensing exam. Okay, so we make sure here at Kaplan, we make sure that you are in a good place as far as the material and the topics. Now, is the industry changing? Absolutely. But those changes are very specific to practice and agency. And those changes you'll learn in your post-licensing course, which by the way, we offer as well. But you will see the majority of those changes affect practicing agents. And the beauty of coming into this industry at this point is that you are learning fresh with the new rules. You'll be learning everything fresh. You don't have anything to unlearn like folks like me that have been in the business forever. And so you're coming in learning the new way, the new world of real estate. But again, just keep in mind that agency and practice methods and those changes, they will come into play after the fact, after you already have that license. You'll have the opportunity through post licensing, which again we offer, and as well as your brokerage will more than likely offer, some training there as well.
Right. Another question that came up in the group is, how can they take notes in a more timely fashion? They feel like they're spending a lot of time taking notes. What's a more efficient way for them to take notes? That's a good question.
So let me just say that you're going to spend a lot of time taking notes. This is a lot of material. If you have a textbook, you know that the textbook is over 800 pages itself, right? With anywhere from 1 to 5, 6 terms per page, right? So we're talking about a huge amount of information, and taking notes is in an unfamiliar topic. So taking notes is going to be one of the best ways to retain that information, and to familiarize yourself, and to make sure that you are also fully comprehending. But as far as organizing those notes, I recommend first and foremost that you are taking notes gradually as you go, and topic by topic, unit by unit, and you're keeping the titles of that particular note section, and that you're matching that up with your self-paced course as you're going through it. So keeping a notebook for all of your notes, and making sure that they are categorized and organized, and that you're taking them slowly and gradually, and you're building up, because most of you have about 26 units, and that, like I said, it's packed with information. So you're going to take a lot of notes. So be prepared for that, and also take a look at the handbook from your test administrators. They give you content outlines of the specific topics and subtopics that are being tested on. And you can use that as an outline for your notes as well. Very effective.
And every state course syllabus has that handbook on the very first page of the syllabus. So if you're wondering where to find that, just click on the first page of your syllabus. It's a purple heading, and it says your state and then the handbook, candidate handbook, and then you'll click on that, and it's located in that handbook, usually towards the front. And that is such a great resource, because it does spell out, like, you've got 8 questions on, contracts, you've got 3 questions on math, and it really helps you kind of like hone in, like, I really need to know, contracts, I really need to know license, I really need to know this or that, versus like, I'm going to spend all this time on a subject that's only like 2% of what I'm being tested on, and I think that helps people kind of calm down with math too. Like, yes, you have to understand math. Yes, you need to explain math later on to your client. So it's important to understand it. But if you're not great at math and you bomb the math portion, you can still pass the exam. So don't get too hung up on things like that. I think that's an important thing to mention. Another question that came up was, are there mentors that can kind of help you, guide you through the licensing courses?
Your instructor is your mentor, and you may also have a student advisor who can help to guide you. I'm not sure, Jamie, whether or not there's a student advisor for every state. There's not, but you have your instructor who is also able to serve as a mentor. But otherwise, you can seek mentorship, of course, outside of the course. Make sure it's someone that you trust and someone that is experienced, and that's going to give you that positive support and accurate guidance on what you should do.
Yeah, agreed. And every state's going to be a little bit different. So we're kind of trying to generalize as much as possible here. Every state has little nuances because every state's different. So make sure you're looking at your course syllabus to see what is available to you. Like some states might have a state Q bank, some states don't. Some states have, well, every state has a lead instructor that you can reach out to ask questions to. We also have a national lead instructor inbox that you can ask questions to. You can always go to the community forum, which is a fantastic place for you guys to go and ask questions. There's always instructors that are answering the questions. That's a great place to find a study group. That's a great place to also just find out what's going on, to find out about webinars like this and different access that you have as a Kaplan student. So make sure you're going out to that community forum. Again, it's if you go to that Your Live Online Learning Hub, it's the little green icon at the top that you can just click on and bring you into the community forum to ask questions. Let me just see if I can show you that really quickly. Let's see. Textbooks, again, that's a big question that keeps coming up in the chat. Textbooks are available online. A lot of your packages come with a PDF, so you don't need to like print out a giant textbook. You can just review as to what you need from that textbook and then take notes. I don't recommend reading those textbooks cover to cover anyhow. It's just way too much information. So I would take and highlight what you need to know for your exam, and going through that outline that the state gives you to see what you need to focus on for your state is the best way to do that, like Tanya was saying. As for flashcards, do you have any recommendations, Tanya, for flashcards? How to do them, what to do with them, write them, buy them, use Quizlet? What are your thoughts there?
All of the things, Jamie, all of those. So obviously we have flashcards here at Kaplan that you can use, and you can count on the accuracy of the answers, of those, of the definitions and the concepts. You can count on that with us. But of course, you can handwrite your own flashcards, create your own flashcards as you're going through the material. Another way to reinforce and to deepen your understanding is by writing out your own flashcards. It's super important to keep them organized, categorized, although you may also want to drill yourself by mixing those up. But create those for yourself or purchase them from us. Also, there's Quizlet. Most of you all are familiar with Quizlet. You can create electronic flashcards there, and you can share decks and so on and so forth. So that is another way. One caveat on the Quizlet flashcards is make sure that the information is accurate. There is information, as Jamie reminded me earlier, there's information on the Quizlet that is inaccurate. And so you want to be very careful and either use Kaplan or your own flashcards, which you can also, by the way, turn into your own custom set on Quizlet of flashcards. So great resources.
Yeah, tons of great resources with flashcards. I'm going to share really quickly here my screen again, just so you guys can see where you can ask questions in the community forum. So up here again, this is your Live Online Learning Hub, and there's going to be this little green icon at the top. You'll click on Community Forum, and that will bring you into the community. This is also a great place to continue the questions from today. If you have additional ones, go ahead and go into the community and ask them. But this will then bring you into there's two different communities. So there's a student facing, which is just the students of Kaplan. So it's a private community. And then there's the career mentor community, which is the public facing community. So that's kind of like, if you're not a student yet, you can go and ask questions, or if you already have your license and have questions about the industry, that's where you would go. But once you're in the student community, you'll be able to go in and, again, this depends on your state, but you can go in here and just ask general questions as to, what's going on with this, or I can't figure out that. And we'll put a lot of different tips and pointers in here for you guys too. So here's some about Friday night math learn sessions. So if you're wondering when that is, you can click on that and find out. So just kind of wanted to show you guys where to go for that. Another question was, when you take your state exams, are you taking the state and the national exams?
Sure. So great question. I think sometimes people get confused when they're saying state exam, and by state exam we mean the pre-licensing, excuse me, the licensing exam. So you've completed your Kaplan course, you've taken our final exam, and then you get your certificate of completion, which is your golden ticket to move on to your licensing exam for your state. So there is one licensing exam. The state material and the national material is all combined into one licensing exam. And when you pass that exam, then you are eligible to apply for your license through your local real estate commission. That's how it works. There's no separation, of the state material and this is the national. They're not two separate tests. There's one licensing exam that you pay for through your test administrator.
So that's how it is in Georgia, but I know there are some other states where they do separate it out. So
is that right?
I'm in Colorado, and our exam does do a national portion and then a state portion. So it does kind of vary by state, but the gist is you have to pass both in order to qualify to get your license. So whether it's like in Colorado, if you failed your national, you can go back and retake your national. If you fail your state, you can go back and retake your state. But typically you sit at one time to take both tests. And then if you have to go back and retake one, you can. Otherwise, you just pass or fail both. It just kind of depends. But so every state's a little bit different. So I don't want to mislead anyone on that.
Okay.
But in Georgia, that's exactly how it is. You're right, Tanya. So yeah, that's all awesome information.
Well, I just learned something, Jamie. I just learned something.
Yeah, we do every day. Believe me. I'm always like, oh, they don't do that like that there. And it's tricky because state by state, it gets a little confusing as to what people call things too. You're not always an agent, you're a broker, or
right.
And sometimes you're taking a broker's test, but you're not a managing broker.
Right.
They just call agents brokers there. So it gets a little confusing.
It does. We have qualifying brokers here. So, it's interesting. So, but thanks for clarifying on that. I didn't realize that it was a little bit different everywhere.
Yeah. Another question that came up is, how do new students navigate the NAR ruling concerning the new rules? And does the course update itself to implement these new rules, and will it be in our tests and licensing? You want to take that one, Tanya?
Sure. So, the NAR ruling, which went into effect on the 17th, if I'm not mistaken, there on the date.
You're right.
And so again, those are agency and practice rules that have gone into effect that you'll learn more about once you have your license in hand and you're, affiliated with a broker who can then share that information with you, as to how, they're going to handle it. Each brokerage is going to handle it a little bit differently. and, incorporate their own perspective and their way of doing things into it. But the exam material that we're offering with our course is going to match with whatever your state exam is on. Is that correct, Jamie? Am I correct on that?
100%.
Okay.
So
Okay.
a lot of times we'll talk about it in class,
Mhm.
the changes that are coming up, but you're not going to get tested on that yet, just
Mhm.
because they're like, obviously it takes a testing facility a while to catch up with the changes that are going on in the industry, and they don't update their tests as quickly as Kaplan does. So you're probably not going to get tested on some of that newer material for a little while, just because they have to rewrite the tests and they have to send that out, and then all the states have to redo their tests, and so it takes a long time, is what I'm getting at. So like Tanya is saying, you'll know about it, but you may not be tested on it yet. And then when you get out, you're going to learn a lot from your managing broker as well, and they're going to fill you in on the day-to-day stuff that isn't necessarily tested on, if that makes sense. So what you're going to actually do is going to be a little bit different than what you're getting tested on, but you're going to know what you need to know for the test through Kaplan, and then you'll get knowledge about the industry as well through Kaplan, because we have Career Mentor Connect as one of the tools that you guys can attend. It's a session that meets once a week, and that kind of talks about what's happening in the industry. So that's a great resource for you guys. So on the screen, I have put up a link to the community forum. So go ahead and join us there. Please ask any questions in the community that we didn't get to today. There's a ton of questions. You guys had lots of great questions, some that we weren't able to get to, and I'm sorry for that. We only have so much time. But I wanted to thank you guys for joining us. Please go to that community and ask any additional questions. One last question I had for Tanya is just, what do you think of everything that we talked about today, from the beginning to end, starting the courses to exam prep? What are the 3 key takeaways that the students should remember from today's session? I know
So,
that's a big nut to crack, sorry.
yeah. No, go ahead. First and foremost, take this seriously. Take this, opportunity and the required education. This is a prerequisite to licensing. Take it seriously. Invest your time, invest your energy, and know that you're investing in your future business. Do the work, be organized, time block, for your future success. Because at the end of the day, what you're doing in pre-licensing is you're building a foundation of knowledge that is going to fuel your business and help to ensure that you have a successful and prosperous business. And most importantly, that you have longevity. You've got to have that knowledge base. Buyers today, clients today overall, they want knowledgeable, well-informed professionals. And this is your opportunity to build that foundation. No excuses, no regrets. Just do the work. Just do the work.
Right, I love it. I can't say enough, like, how important it is to take it seriously, because it is your business that you're creating for your future, your maybe future generations, even if you want to pass this down to a family member. So I think it's such a great way to start your own business. And I love watching our students come in and thrive and really get in there and take advantage of all the tools. Take advantage of our lead instructors like Tanya. Email her. She wants to answer your questions. She's dying to hear from you. Go into the community forum, ask your questions any time of day. You're studying at 3 in the morning and you got a question. We might not be on there answering it at 3 in the morning, but we'll get back to you when we wake up, and we'll answer that with a fresh mind, and you'll be able to go off and running with your questions or with your knowledge. So we're super excited you guys chose Kaplan. You're in great hands. We've got amazing instructors. I wouldn't be here if we didn't. Tanya wouldn't be here if we didn't. So thank you guys for being a part of Kaplan. Again, please go into the community and ask any more questions you have from today. I'm sorry if we didn't get to all the questions. You guys have had great questions. You've been a fabulous audience, and we want to thank
Yes.
you for your time today. If you, again, have any other questions, please go to the community, and we look forward to seeing you for our next month's real estate expert. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you,
Thank you.
Tanya, for being here and for all
Thank you,
your
Jamie.
amazing advice. Yes,
Thank you so much.
you're
Remember
welcome.
why you signed up for this, guys. Remember why you signed up for this.
Yes, know your why, right?
Know your
Right.
why.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.